Hey folks, today is Friday, February 3rd, 2017. As always, I'm Jake Baldino, and we're here to talk about some video game stuff that happened this week. First things first though, a word from our sponsors. The sponsors are actually us. We've created a new channel. Don't freak out. The channel is absolutely fresh and brand new. We literally pushed the go button today. And it's called Waste Time. We thought long and hard about the name. You should check it out and go subscribe over there because that's basically what it is. If you want to waste time and if you like the way Falcon and I and Andrew the new guy tackle video game subjects, if you like that style and you like that vibe, we're trying our hand over at Waste Time talking about just anything from entertainment to science to random facts. So if you like the way we do things in gaming and if you want to hear us talk about other stuff, go check it out over there. But we're doing a giveaway. If you subscribe over there, you automatically entered in a chance to win an Asus ROG Strix laptop. This thing has a 1060 in it, 16 gigs of RAM. It's a decent gaming laptop, but if gaming laptops aren't your thing, you also still stand a chance to win a PS4 or an Xbox One. But don't fret, if you do win and you're in another territory, we can give you a game code for a game of your choice. Because we know in the past we haven't been able to ship to everyone, so we're trying to throw you guys a bone here. All you have to do is go over and check out Waste Time, subscribe over there, but make sure in your YouTube settings you have your subscription set to public so that way we can go in and look at the list of people who have subscribed and pick 2 lucky winners. So that's it. Thanks for going over there. If you do, hope you enjoy our spin-off channel. But now we got to talk about video game stuff going on this week. The first big announcement, and honestly, I keep underestimating how popular this game really is the Elder Scrolls Online is getting a Morrowind expansion. The only reason my ears really perked up is because Morrowind is one of my favorite Elder Scrolls games, and now they're adding that entire geographic region with the same footprint as the original game to Elder Scrolls Online. This is going to be a big, huge expansion, apparently releasing in June for roughly $30, and it's releasing simultaneously on PC and consoles. There's a new character class. But the biggest question here, I ask you guys, are you cool with this? I know some people still really hardcore play this game. It's got good support and there is a community there. But I myself have been wondering if I should really go in and play it. I played the beta back in the day. I didn't like it. But maybe the Morrowind expansion is the thing that'll get me back in. I don't know. I want to hear about you guys though. Something that we have to talk about though that is really stupid, but the more I look at it, the more I kind of like it, is this backpack that has a PC strapped to it that allows you to do VR gaming wherever you want and cable free. To me, this is trying to fix a VR problem with a giant hammer, and it's very brute force, and it doesn't really make complete sense, especially if you're using an HTC Vive with room scale lighthouses. But basically what it is backpack straps with a tower PC on it. And you can't make this up. It gives you VR freedom, but you also just have this giant, bulky, stupid PC strapped to your back. But this thing goes for about $2,000 and it's got a GTX 1070 in it. We talk about VR a lot because, you know, it's cool to see companies try and innovate around these things. I don't know if this totally makes sense, but it's almost just so weird and unconventional that I still would want to give it a try. You'd probably be the coolest kid in school, though, if you went into school with a backpack and it wasn't a backpack, it was just a fucking gaming PC on it. Imagine that.
But, yeah, you'd have to get special underwear so you can still get pantsed over the big backpack.
Also, speaking of PC news, the Oculus Vs ZeniMax lawsuit over intellectual property has come to a close. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to really pretend I know what's going on, but I am going to tell you what happened. The jury awarded $500 million to ZeniMax after finding that Oculus and Palmer Luckey failed to comply with an NDA. For those of you that don't know, a non-disclosure agreement. So now ZeniMax technically won, and they're getting a ton of money. $50 million for false designation, $50 million for copyright infringement, and $200 million for breaking the NDA. The victory isn't as sexy and huge as it could be in terms of a bombshell because the court did actually rule that Oculus didn't misappropriate trade secrets as claimed by ZeniMax. So basically VR isn't in the tubes, Oculus Rift isn't getting shut down, ZeniMax isn't getting shut down. Nothing's really happening, but a bunch of rich people had to give up a lot of money. I am definitely paraphrasing it. The court stuff actually did get pretty interesting with Mark Zuckerberg. You can go read it. I linked it down below, as well as everything else we talked about this week. Also, I don't know if you guys caught this. It did fly a little bit under the radar, but Star Wars Battlefront did actually tweet some information about the next Battlefront game that is coming this year. It is really just a bit of hype and hyperbole type of stuff, but they did state that there are going to be new Star Wars worlds, but the most interesting thing is that it's going to take place across multiple eras of Star Wars lore. And most importantly, they have doubled down that yes, single player campaign is going to be a thing, and honestly, that's all I really care about playing. The question is this going to be a half-assed campaign that's just a collection of multiplayer levels with bots, or is this going to be the real deal? What do you really expect or want from a new Battlefield campaign? I don't know myself. Honestly, after the first new Battlefront game, I'm not really holding my breath. But in other news, Sony is updating the PlayStation 4 console with some new features to the interface, including, most importantly, the ability for external hard drive support. I think this is way overdue, but it's much appreciated. Also, notifications are going to be simplified. That new little preview pop-up when you hit the PlayStation button is changed a little bit. And there's the ability to add custom wallpapers, which you can tweak somewhat, but it seems from the announcement that it's just limited to screenshots that you take from games, so Also, apparently for this update, PlayStation 4 Pro owners are going to get a boost boost mode that'll boost and improve performance for games that don't have necessarily a PS4 Pro update. I'm a little skeptical of how that works. I'm gonna have to wait and test it out when I get my hands on it. I don't know if you guys caught the report from Kotaku, but there's been some shit going on with GameStop. A lot of controversy has found itself in hot water this week because things have surfaced on NeoGAF and other places of a lot of testimonials of employees with a GameStop retail policy called Circle of Life that basically pushes the retail employees to prioritize and sell more used shit because GameStop makes more money off of used stuff than new stuff. The profit margins are bigger. But apparently the way it works, for every new product you sell, you have to make up with it with used sales, which apparently puts a lot of pressure on retail employees to actually not push or not sell certain products, and even at some points even lie to the consumer and say, oh, we don't have those in stock, in order to save their numbers because there's so much pressure. Now, of course, there are two sides to every story, and maybe there are some good GameStop stores out there with good managers, and it's just run well, and things don't really feel that way. But on the flip side, a lot of you guys out there probably know, I know I personally do know that retail sucks, and shit like this does happen, and it's unfortunate. It's also still developing because I've seen a lot of news sites report and post this and expect GameStop to really do something about it, but I think GameStop still operates in the mainstream sphere, not the gaming news sphere. So if the mainstream doesn't catch wind of any of this, it doesn't really matter. Also, something weird that has been taking Japan by storm, what else is new, is this weird jaming. Is this jaming? Did I just say jaming? Jaming. I play video games. Is this weird gaming chair called the Buddy. Apparently this thing has been selling out in Japan. It only retails for like what is roughly $40, but apparently it's all the rage. And it's this weird, awkward chair that, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. That looks pretty comfortable. That being said, you don't really have to sit like that because all controllers are wireless. This definitely probably works with the NES Classic though, considering the cables are so short. But honestly, I don't know. This chair is kind of cool. It looks like a kid's chair. I wish they changed the colors for it. I feel like for some people, you know, with like your junk like right there, that might be a little uncomfortable. But I don't know, we saw it going viral, and apparently it's all the rage right now. Are you guys down with this type of chair? Imagine we did it before you buy on a chair. And in some news that I'm pretty sure only I care about, Tony Hawk is apparently maybe making a new game. And it's not with Activision, the people who have made Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Tony Hawk has said on record that he is in the process of working on a new type of game project with some people. He hasn't signed any contracts yet, but there are some exciting ideas in the works. And it's very interesting that he actually said it's not with Activision. That leads to be the question, did the property get sold off after the failure of Tony Hawk 5? I don't know. Also, Tony Hawk in the past has had some great ideas with some teams and been excited about projects, but those turned out to be failures like Tony Hawk Downhill Jam and Tony Hawk Ride, which we all forgot about, but I didn't. I never forget. But I'm holding out hope. It's one of my favorite series of all times, and I would like for it to be real again. But speaking of some people's favorite series, EA has been in some interesting waters when one of their community managers randomly tweeted out #Skate4. And I was like, what? And everybody collectively freaked out. But a few days later, during an earnings conference call, EA CEO Andrew Wilson did confirm and said, EA is not presently making Skate 4. But he did also joke that it's a big disappointment for EA's CFO, Blake Jorgensen, who is apparently a really big fan of the games. So I'm holding on to the little glimmer of hope that one of the EA higher-ups really, really likes Skate, and maybe they'll make it a passion project and finally make Skate 4. But also, I need to ask, why did that community manager tweet that? What are you doing, dude? And then something that I am also very excited about that doesn't have anything to do with skateboards, WB Games looks to be announcing something soon. This is, of course, a very, very hot rumor, but it actually came posted accidentally by IGN France. And all it says is save the date, March 8th, 2017, with the WB Games logo. Now, you can divulge a lot from this text or none at all in terms of the font because it looks very different, but the money in the air right now is either a new Shadow of Mordor game or that Batman game that was teased a while back, reported by Kotaku, that rumor that was going to be based around Damian Wayne, which still just seems like a weird, unlikely type of game, but it could be either or. I think most people are betting on a new Batman game announcement. I really honestly don't know what to think. But the good thing is that both Shadow of Mordor and the Batman Arkham games are really good. So I think it's a win-win if this is a real announcement. Hopefully we're getting something really good, unless it's just another Lego game. But that's all the stuff we're talking about this week, guys. You know, like I said earlier in the video, go check out our new channel, Waste Time. It's very young. It's a side project. We just like overworking ourselves. If you do check it out and you do subscribe, you can win some cool shit. But we have to talk about what is going on this week. Skate 4. What would you want from it? Also, this announcement from WB Games. What do you think it's going to be? Shadow of Mordor or a Batman game or something else? Which would you rather have? Also, would you strap a gaming PC to your back and walk around with it like a big goon? I don't know, partly I would if money was no object. How do you feel about the stuff that's going on with GameStop? It's kind of unfortunate. If you work there, let me know what you think. If you don't, also let me know what you think. I'll be down in the comments talking to you guys like usual. You know the deal. I'll also be on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino if you want to chat over there. You guys know the deal though. Thank you so much for coming around. Clicking the like button helps us out, obviously. Subscribing also, if you're new, is a good idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on me.